Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Monday. It is Monday, September 27th, and it has been a mixed bag of stuff over here already, and it's only 10 o'clock in the morning. You'd never know it by looking out the window now because there's blue sky, but it is actually raining on and off here in Kelowna today. In fact, we had like Vancouver type rain where it just downpoured for a good 10-15 minutes a couple hours ago, which is very rare for Kelowna. We don't get those downpours. We get a lot of sprinkles, but not those massive torrential rains that our coastal friends seem to get. So pretty excited that we're having rain in Kelowna. We have needed rain for a very long time. And we're supposed to get more rain this afternoon, even though right now it's super sunny. So, of course, on every rainy day, well, who am I kidding? On any day of the week, I always have tea, but tea is always extra special when it rains. So I've been chugging tea like crazy today. But here's what's really hitting me upside of the head today is the end of the week signifies the start of Q4. That's right, my friends. We are literally on the downward slide to the end of the year. And of course, if you're a full focus planner user, that means you're now flipping over to your last edition of your full focus planner for Q4. Whatever method you use to organize your goals, it means now you have to revisit all of your goals and see what you can get done in Q4. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about just really quickly today. By the way, if you are in that cram mode for Q4 goals and you're alongside with me, just drop me a little note in the comments because I know this can afflict a lot of us. We all start to feel that stress of trying to get everything done, the things that we haven't gotten done yet in these final 90 days. In addition, we're getting ready for Christmas, Thanksgiving, all of those things. I'm a hockey mom, so it is full on hockey season over at the Calderwood household. I'm never home because I'm living in hockey rinks and coffee shops, 24/7, it seems like. So there's a lot going on in Q4 for a lot of us, whether you're a parent of an athlete or you're getting ready to host Christmas at your house, whatever that looks like. But we still need to examine everything that we had planned for this year and try and see if we can wrap up the year in getting some of those goals done. The thing is, 90 days is a really short time window to tackle a ton of these things that we set out to do at the beginning of the year. So if you're like me and you had maybe 20 or 30 goals and projects that you wanted to do, and you still literally have 15 or 20 of those projects left, and that's me right now, here's what I would hopefully like you to do is set aside the expectation that you are going to get all 15 of those unfinished projects done. It's not going to happen. But here's what can happen is you can focus on 1 or 2, 3 or 4 of those projects, and you have 90 days to get those very specific projects done. What this does is it does set you up for a few wins, right? We can get those projects done. We can start to see some momentum on some of those goals. And even though we didn't get the other 15 projects done, here's the second thing you're going to do is re-examine all of those goals and objectives and projects and decide if they're worthy enough to even be completed, whether you want to do it this year or if you want to see if you can tackle those into 2022. Often, some of the projects that we set out at the beginning of the year, they didn't come to fruition because other projects seemed to pop up. And that's what happened to me this year, is I had big goals around a certain part of my business, and I'm not meeting those goals. And of course, I'm not doing as much work in that area to see some improvement and some achievement. But that's because some other things grabbed my attention that I felt had more priority this year. And so that one part of my business really did take a little bit of a back seat as these other very interesting and unexpected opportunities popped up. So super happy about what's going on over here, but it did mean that this goal needs a bit of refinement and revisiting. So that's what I'd like you to do as well, is just extend yourself a little bit of grace about the things that we weren't able to accomplish this year. We still have 90 days to get to those high priority goals. And again, take 1, 2, or 3 of those and give it your all through the end of the year. Is anyone else feeling like that? Like we just can't even decide which ones we want to accomplish at the end of the year. Drop a note in the comments if you're also feeling this way. You've got all of these goals and you're not sure which ones you're actually going to tackle. The third thing, if you have time, I would really like for you to set aside some dates for your end of year or beginning of year business plan retreat. This is something that I do every single year, well, at least for the last 9 or 10 years. And it is literally my favorite time of year. It is 2 days by myself, usually sequestered in a hotel, but sometimes I've had to get creative, where I look at everything that I would like to do in my business and in my life, and I start to create a plan for the upcoming year. It's as prosaic as setting some business goals with some revenue targets, all the way down to what books I want to read throughout the year. So if you set aside some time for your personal business plan retreat or a retreat with your small team, I've actually created some agendas for you to use. In fact, I will put a quick note in the comments where you can find these sample business plan retreat agendas. And these agendas, there's a few different formats. There's a half-day agenda format. There's a 2 full-day agenda format. There's a format for if you are part of a small team and a format if you are an entrepreneur like myself. So take a look at the sample agendas, see if any of them will work for your upcoming business plan retreat. Which brings me to the resources of the day. There's a few resources I wanted to pass along to you today. The one that I've just put in the comments, so sample business plan retreats, but also a book that I would like you to consider here in Q4. I've talked about this book before. It was recommended to me by my friend Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. And it's Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And, you know, talk about the universe answering your prayers in unique ways. I started reading this book at the beginning of the year. I got it from my public library. And if you know me, I hate spending money on books because I'd be flat out broke, my friends. I do read a lot of books. So I hate spending money on books. Love, love, love my public library. Love this book so much, though. And so I put it out to the universe that someday I'm going to find this book at Value Village and then only spend $6 on the book. Well, guess what? I now have my own crisp, clear, it's pristine. No one's ever read this copy. $6, Value Village. By the way, there's my other resource tip of the week. Value Village or other thrift stores to find some books, especially books that you want to refer to again and again. My entire bookshelf, I shouldn't say entire, 80% of my bookshelf is Value Village finds. So huge fan. Anyways, here's the thing about this book at this time of year is it talks about, and I'm reading literally from the book, this book is not about getting more done in less time. Okay, so if you're multitasking, come back to me. It is not about getting more done in less time. It's about getting only the right things done. So a great book to tackle in Q4 as we decide what are those right things to get done in the next 90 days. So that's my book suggestion of the week. The webinar of the week is Texie Talk Global Unplugged. This is a full 2-day event, virtual, of course, hosted by Liz Caruso and her massive network of friends. There are a number of event prof rock stars contributing to Texie Talk Global. There are links to Texie Talk Global in the comments, and I will update the descriptions to have those links as well. If you're on LinkedIn, look for Texie Talk Global, and you'll find information about the event. It is a free virtual 2-day event with panels and experts coming in to talk about virtual events, and a whole bunch of stuff. You really need to check out the agenda and see if you can put some time aside to join the event over the next couple days. And then, of course, the challenge of the week is to examine your Q4 goals and objectives, my friends. We still have 90 days. It is not the end of the year. Yes, we've got some holidays coming up, but we still have some really, really good business days ahead of us to finish off the year strong and set us up for success for 2022. That's what I'm going to be doing this week, is getting ready for Q4 for 2022 and looking at my goals for the next 90 days. Thank you for joining me for today's Monday Motivation. A bit longer today at almost 11 minutes. I try to keep these under 10 minutes for y'all. But it was an important topic as we head into Q4. Like I said, those sample business plan agendas can be found at leannecalderwood.com/sample agendas. Download a copy, make edits as you see fit for your team, and start to plan your business plan retreat. Have a wonderful Monday wherever this finds you. Sun, rain, or snow. It's going to be a fantastic week, y'all. Have a great one. Bye for now.